Hi, I'm Tim from Love It Sales and Lettings. We wanted to do a one-off video on the big issue of damp and mould. Not because it's exciting, because it really isn't, but it's something that comes up time and time again in properties. And there are some really small basic things that can be done to avoid big issues for tenant and landlord. If you're living in a property that begins to have damp and mould problems, it can lead to things such as respiratory problems. If you have allergies, it can affect and set off those. It's generally not very good for your health to have mould and damp spores in your home. So there are a number of different things you can do to help minimise damp or mould issues at your property. The first thing would be to make sure there are no leaks in any of your water connections. Condensation is obviously your enemy, so make sure that if you are seeing condensation build up in certain areas that you keep it wiped down and keep it as dry as possible. Probably the biggest cause of damp and mould in properties that we see is from people that are drying clothes on their radiators and not airing the property properly. Obviously it's not always possible to have room for big clothes horses, or not everybody's got a tumble dryer or outdoor space for a washing line. If you must go down the route of using radiators to dry your clothes, we would say make sure you do keep the windows open when you're doing so and try to air the property as regularly as you can. If you are in a room that's having temperature fluctuations, so you're having a lot of hot and cold, so for example having a hot shower when the window is open, try to make sure that you keep the doors closed in those rooms so that the condensation doesn't spread to other rooms, and make sure that your extractor fans are always turned on. It's always important to remember to try to keep your heating on at a reasonable temperature as well, especially during the cold months. It sounds obvious, but obviously we don't always want to run heating because of the costs that come with it, but you must think about trying to maintain the warmth within your property and stopping cold and damp spots appearing. If you begin to see issues with mould or damp, or you feel that the property is starting to feel a bit moist in the air, we'd recommend getting damp traps or hiring a dehumidifier. We do have a number of dehumidifiers available here at the office for tenants to use if they need them. The first thing I'd say is to call your property manager, and we can come and have a look at the property. In some cases, if it's more severe, we can ask a damp specialist to come out and undertake a damp report, which will show how best to remediate it. But the first point of contact is with your property manager, who can give you the best advice and guidance first off. I think the best bit of advice would be, if you have got damp or mould patches appearing, is to not panic. The majority of cases are very easily resolvable, especially if it's in the early stages. Thanks for watching my special on mould and damp. We hope to see you next time.